Hey design fans, this is Michael DiTullo. I'm the jury captain for this year's Core 77 Design Awards soft goods category and the chief design officer at DEI Holdings. I'm here with my fellow jurors.
My name is Greg McNamara. I'm a principal of Performance Studios and also design director of Soul Republic.
And I'm Coleman Horn, and I'm the principal at a small design firm called Phyla.
And our fourth juror who could not be here with us today was Chris Gadway, who is design director over at the North Face. So for those of you that don't know, the soft goods category is comprised of any product that is production oriented that is in some way made from a soft material. So that can be anything from gloves and backpacks to footwear. And so without further ado, we're going to run through our list of student notables. So the notables are projects that didn't come in first or second place, but we felt were noteworthy for a particular reason. Our first notable is the Strong Arm Lifting Safety Garment by Sean Peterson of the Rochester Institute of Technology, who worked with Justin Hillary, Carl Lundgren, and Dr. Jeffrey Hook and Dr. Matt Tone. The Strong Arm is a device that makes lifting packages and materials easier and safer. Designed for material handlers, the ergonomically designed Strong Arm reduces risk and fatigue when lifting materials at a factory, delivering packages, or carrying a variety of loads. We like this project because it was a classic kind of human factors problem-solving solution that was kind of well handled.
Yeah, it was coupled with a really great pitch and a lot of good, strong problem solving, both verified through mock-ups and actual user testing. I thought it was a pretty solid solution and had a real good opportunity that it addressed.
Almost an engineering approach to a problem that's plaguing insurance companies and workers, which is work-related incidents of lifting heavy objects. So it was definitely a strong submission.
Our second notable is A Place for My Stuff by Jonas Christensen, who worked with Stephen Montgomery at the Art Center College of Design. A Place for My Stuff was a functional laptop bag for young professionals for use while riding public transportation. The bag opens to provide a safe and secure working platform, while the bag lid stays vertical and protects the laptop from swinging backpacks in crowded situations. There's a gap between functional laptop bags and classic high-quality fashion bags on the market today, and this design is aimed to bridge that gap.
There was a lot of the design that we liked, especially the fact that it was very steampunk, and you know, the integration of a hard case with the soft case kind of functionality was very much innovative in this category.
I think spending a lot of time in public spaces, we've all been challenged with setting aside our space from somebody else's space, and this was an excellent way to delineate our space versus somebody else's.
Jonas, when you bring that one to production, send us a few. Our next notable was the Armano glove by Hugo Miser of the University of Montreal. Armano is an orthopedic glove that allows the user to secure an object to his hand, maintaining prehension during an activity. Specially designed for people with hand disabilities, the glove's grip is ensured by a strap system that ties to the back of the hand. The system adjusts to different object sizes, providing the user with an adaptable and very accurate fit.
We really liked both the construction of the glove and the prototype, and actually the way that it addressed the solution. Typically, hand-based solutions are very difficult to engineer around, and we thought it was really solid, both in the approach and even in the styling. It was pretty solid.
Yeah, it was definitely a beautiful execution. I'm an avid squash player, and sometimes I've been playing squash and my racket just comes flying out of my hands and injures the other opponent. So I'm sure this would be an excellent solution for me when I have sweaty palms.
And also this focusing on people with kind of limited dexterity in their hands was really great to see designers taking on kind of an underserved group of people. And we actually saw that a lot in this category this year, and it was just fantastic to see that.
Yeah, definitely.
Our next notable was Elefanti by Yu Zin of the University of Göteborg, who worked with Helena Hansen, Ulrika Enberg, Sol Vast, and Marianne Davidson, Joachim Harrison, Jonas Janssen, and Nordifa AB. Sorry if I butchered any of that, as I'm sure I did. But the Elefanti is a children's furniture that has double functions. It's a round play mat made of felt that can also be folded into an elephant-shaped basket. It is designed to fit in an environment where there are both adults and children, such as a living room, and it fulfills both parties' values.
This is a really fun design that we thought was really resolved pretty well, and it almost had a little bit of an Eames-like vibe to it. Yeah, I liked it.
Just a beautiful and playful application for kids. We urge you to kind of go and click through the link and then look at it in person, because it's kind of difficult to explain just from the description.
I think for a student project was a really kind of mature execution and solution, and something you could easily see in IKEA next week.
Yeah, it was IKEA ready, definitely.
Yeah, and we mean that in a good way.
Yes.
No, definitely, definitely.
Our next notable was the V-Bag by Zara Dramoff of the California College of Arts in San Francisco. The product is a reusable modern bag with style and elegance. It is a highly versatile, highly functional, and highly durable bag that serves a wide array of specific purposes.
We thought this was both simple and clean, but also well resolved. Immediately, we were kind of taken by the materials and the way that it was put together. It just felt like a really well thought out product.
I mean, with this trend going towards reusable bags for shopping, we've seen a plethora of pretty mediocre entries. But this entries just into that general market. But this was definitely the best looking reusable shopping bag I've probably ever seen. So
yeah, like Coleman said, we actually saw a couple of reusable bags this year, and this one just kind of elevated itself up as much more refined and much more well executed.
It's beautiful.
And our last notable for the student category was SAP by Chris Guthers, who worked with Anna Maria Cornelia de Gersum of the University of Technology in Eindhoven. The SAP is a compression bandage for military use with a textile that has integrated superabsorbent polymers with rich swell qualities. The blood that is lost during an injury is absorbed into the expansion and provides an accurate pressure on the wound to stop bleeding.
This was one of the only projects we saw that really focused on actually utilizing materials in different ways. And we thought that it was a nice way to use something that's not typically used for a given industry and cross-functionally applying it to military technology in the field.
Yeah, it was a very nice application of looking what a material's capability is and then using it for a different purpose. I think ultra-absorbent materials haven't technically traditionally been used to take up space. They've just been used to absorb the fluids, and now using that as to something that can exert pressure was a brilliant solution, I think. So it was a very well put together project.
Yeah, it was a cool example of a material exploration, seeing what you can do with the material. And Chris and his team also did a great video submission to really kind of clearly explain what they did, which is also really important for something like this. So we have two runner-ups for the student category for the soft goods this year. Our first runner-up is The Rooster by Henry Wu and Yannicka Tinafongs of the California College of Arts. Rooster is a wearable amplifier bag suitable for street performers seeking sleek, comfortable touch and sound. The speaker flap could be opened or closed by coated nylon depending on the user's preference, and the bag strap is also the guitar strap.
This is a really fun kind of hybrid soft goods product. It had a great overall package and look and feel. It was kind of an untraditional take on an audio project, and we liked everything from the branding to the presentation, kind of the way it was put together.
Yeah, it was a really well-rounded entry. I think you're right about the branding was excellent, and this is definitely a growing segment. Portable electronic stuff, whether it's obviously with the iPod kind of boxes and stuff, but now taking a lot of that technology and just bringing it into an amp for somebody who's busking on the street or whether they want to play for their friends. It was a really playful solution.
Definitely, and I think we're seeing so much more kind of hard good, soft good integration in this category this year. And we think this is a good example of things we'll be seeing more of in the future.
Yeah. Like electronics covered with soft things versus plastic.
Right. Our second runner-up for the student portion of the category was Alliant, a shirt with built-in back support for paramedics by Leonardo Oka, who worked with Fridolin Bessart of the Art Center College of Design. Alliant is a paramedic uniform with a built-in adjustable artificial spine for back support. As the EMT bends over to lift, the back brace automatically adjusts, assisting the EMT in tightening their lower back muscles. With this built-in back brace, EMTs can safely lift and transport patients and other heavy loads.
We thought that, undertaking the redesign of functional workwear is kind of a difficult task in and of itself, and we thought this was a good solution, a good starting point. I would say that, we thought we could actually get more out of it if it went further. And so we liked a lot of the ways that things were integrated. We thought it was visually compelling overall, and we think, given for development, this could be even cooler.
And I think the paramedic application is probably only one of the applications that it could be used for. It could be used for anybody who's lifting, something heavy where they need a uniform. But specifically for that, the finishing of the details was excellent. So there were some problems, washability, because you have a garment essentially with a lot of engineering built into it. So and blood is getting everywhere. There's probably going to be a lot of washing of the garment. So, these are just things to consider. But it was a huge undertaking because of the technical aspects of integrating a soft good with kind of an engineering and hard good part to it.
And probably given enough time, this would definitely, probably accomplish that and get all the issues resolved. I think it's a great.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think the word we used to describe it, both in its execution and as well as the undertaking, was heroic. And I think that was really kind of a really nice aesthetic to kind of bring to what these guys do every day, because they are heroes. So nice job, guys.
Yeah, it even looked a bit like almost like a costume piece out of sci-fi movie or something, like a uniform.
Yeah,
it was killer.
And our winner for the student portion of the soft goods category this year is
drum roll, please.
The Whale Tail by Dai Kim of California College of Arts. Whale Tail is a compact, fashionable traveling mat that provides comfortable and relaxing waiting experiences at airports for family travelers. It is a traveling accessory that attaches onto any carry-on luggage that unfolds into a semi-private space, providing a comfortable seating for a parent and a sanitary play environment for children.
This was a really highly functional product. We were kind of impressed with the storytelling both around it and its human side that it portrayed. It really showed something you don't think about, at least not with the user group, the three of us. Families while traveling, and it was really, really well thought out, and it really showed a kind of a unique approach and a very simple one.
And kind of we touched upon before the need for a private space within a public space, and I think this product definitely addressed that really well. It could delineate an area that was for the child or for the mother and child or father and child in a public space, and you're off the floor. It was clean. It was just a really nice the entire thing was really well put together, not just from the presentation to the design to the thought behind it.
Yeah, this is one of those nice bite-sized projects, and not in the sense of it being small or insignificant, but in the sense that they didn't take on too much. They took on just the right amount, and they used also a hybridized solution where they were taking an existing product and making it better.
Or like being able to piggyback it onto a larger a wheelie back. Yeah.
It was super mature. I just thought for a student project, this just seemed like something that could be as soon as you see, like, I can't believe that's not in production. And it seemed like a product that was really ready, and it was really a very clear benefit that was easily understandable from at a glance, first blush. And also great video presentation on top of that. The video presentation was just fantastic.
Yeah.
So that rounds out our student entries for this year's 2012 Core 77 Soft Goods category. To kick off the professional group, we have another list of notables. Our first notable is Interactive Fashion Intimacy 2.0 by Dane Rosengard with Studio Rosengard, as well as Anouk Wipprecht from the Netherlands. Intimacy is a fashion project exploring the relation between intimacy and technology. Its high-tech garments are made out of opaque, smart e-foils that become increasingly transparent based on close and personal encounters with people. Here, social interactions determine how transparent you want to be, creating a sensual play of disclosure.
This was an interesting exploration of technology based on the body. We thought that There was something about the material that lent itself to becoming more fabric-like. And we'd love to see what you could do if you could either resize the strips or kind of change the relationship and how you treat the e-ink film strips to become even more elegant and decorative.
Yeah, it was a very interesting. I think one of the most important, interesting aspects of the project was that it was theoretical, and time to time, again, a lot of the projects or the submissions or products in general are just they serve a purpose and they're tools. And this was actually you had to think more about exactly what it was doing and what is intimacy and what is privacy, and the garment would allow different variations of that as it became more see-through. It was a very interesting a mix of technology and theory. So it was a fun project.
Yeah, I thought the most interesting thing about this project wasn't what it was specifically, but the potential that it represented as an exploration.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Almost in the idea of it was probably better than the application, but it's a strong idea from this technology.
And it's nice in a sea of entries where a lot of this stuff was designed to be more produced. I think we all like and wish we had time to do more of those explorations ourselves.
Definitely. Curious to see where you guys take that in the future. Our second notable is the N12 bikini by Continuum Fashion, Mary Huang and Jenna Feisel of Cambridge, Massachusetts. The N12 is a 3D printed bikini and textile system. It is the world's first 3D printed, ready-to-wear item of clothing.
It very much questioned the nature of the entire category, soft goods with hard goods, when at the very basic level, at the fabric level, you've actually switched the two and turned everything on its head. So I'd like to see what can be done with this more long term. This is a whole explosion that could be happening and about to happen.
It's a big buzzword, I think, from people outside of the design industry, specifically for 3D printing of objects, and whether it's actually financially doable for a mass production is here nor there. But this type of thinking, whereas being able to print something that becomes a soft good, is a very interesting question. How the parts interlocked and how it could move. It was a really well done piece, and I think it was another one of those semi-theoretical submissions, but one that caused us to think quite a bit.
Yeah, I think we really love the questions of what is a soft good, what is mass production, and I think these are kind of just questions the industry is asking itself right now. So very timely.
It was kind of the first time I'd ever seen anyone really address the notion of fit, because oftentimes with the 3D printed stuff, it's not quite fitted to the body. They really seem to carefully consider each and every zone on the garment and what it needed to do.
Our next notable is Ali Okulu by Bill Worthington, who worked with Kim Johnson and Carrie Conradi of Olukai. This product is a solution was reached by keeping the construction of the shoe simple. The materials that were used were very raw, and the design as native to the ancient Hawaiian lifestyle as possible. So it was a kind of historically Hawaiian inspired footwear product.
First up, I'd say we all kind of wanted a pair.
Yeah, definitely.
It was really, really well made. It was an interesting hybridization of a couple of different styles of footwear. Kind of an interesting, very hypothetical use case scenario. But we thought that he took an interesting stab at it and ended up with some intriguing results.
Yeah, the story that Bill had told behind it was very compelling, and then seeing the final product after hearing the story, it made a lot of sense. So the selling of it through storytelling was part of it, and then also it's just a beautiful shoe. I mean, it's hard to argue. The lines on it were beautiful. The selection of the materials and the detailing were just superb.
Absolutely.
Yeah, hopefully we can put in a link as to where to buy those, because it was extremely well-crafted product. And I also really appreciate it. I mean, all of us have worked within the parameters of kind of corporate structures and brand, and I think this product really pushes the Olukai brand into kind of a nice premium space. So I really appreciate it at that level as well.
And also like seeing how they can push out of just sandals, and what does it mean to be in what is Olukai in a more closed toe footwear.
Mm-hmm. So with our notables behind us, congratulations to all of you. Our runner-up for the professional category for soft goods is the Landscape Blanket by Joe. I'm going to butcher this. I'm sorry, but
By a
says
vowel.
for the Design Academy Eindhoven from Amsterdam. Uh, the landscape linen aims to change the sickness experience. Able to be used at home or in the hospital, it incorporates distraction, humor, and social interaction to positively impact the well-being of the patient and their visitors. Fashioned from soft, naturally dyed bamboo fleece, the blanket begins blank, and over time and participation, a unique, colorful landscape begins to form on its surface, enveloping the patient with traces of well wishes.
This is a product that really brought humor and warmth into a space that's typically lacking in that. It's a very empathic object in the sense that it creates a really strong connection with kind of the minimal amount of materials. And provides also an interesting use case scenario for reuse in the hospital environment where this may need to be used again and again and again, or conversely, something that's savored and taken home.
Yeah, I think the story that you're left with after people were able to write on it and draw and joke with it, you know, that would be the most important part, that you get to save this thing. I'm not sure if, you know, maybe the hospital, you were able to overcome something horrible, and this really represents, like, you know, the achievement that you've got. So it's an interesting way to take a very simple solution of, you know, a blanket that has the material has been thought through so that it works with markers or the system that they had developed, and it was just a nice, as Greg said, very empathetic solution.
Yeah, I think as soon as we saw this one, and we knew it would be kind of in the consideration for being a winner. I think it was one of those things where you just see it and you kind of really clearly see the power of design to take something that already exists. You already have a blanket in this situation, and transform it from being a commodity, something that's not thought about, to being something that is so special that you keep it forever. And it's kind of a symbol of a larger kind of journey. And it does so without really adding anything. It does it by kind of just by being more thoughtful.
Yeah, I think, and they actually having it would kind of force you to go through that process. It would be difficult, I think, if you were in a hospital, for people to write in your journal all the time, and it just wouldn't. It would be difficult to do. But because this blanket is made for this, it's made. It probably comes with the markers, and you know, it encourages people to take action, kind of with it. And I think that was an interesting aspect of it.
And it's nice because it's kind of hijacking that sense of people already do this. It's a behavior that's already established. People are already writing on casts and things like that. But typically, you throw it away. You don't keep it.
Yeah.
So it's just a nice way to transform it into something else.
We could definitely see this being kind of rolled out on a global scale with further development put into it. So.
It could be children, you know, I mean, outside of the healing process, maybe just kids who want to draw on their blankets, or, you know, mom who's creative can create something nice for the blankie. It's I think it has different applications.
Definitely.
So without further ado, our winner for the category, drum roll. The winner for the category is the Maxi Cozy Priya 70 by RAM, Robert Englert, Carlos Suarez, Bianca Lay, and Grant Meacham for Maxi Cozy out of Syracuse, New York. The Maxi Cozy Priya 70 is a child restraint system, or car seat, for infants and toddlers, 4 pounds to 70 pounds. It's a huge range. The seat can be positioned both rear-facing for young children and forward-facing for older children. The seat incorporates side impact protection and air cushion technology and features the Tiny Fit system, a specially designed removable insert for small children.
It's worth noting that it's really hard to innovate in such a typically heavily regulated category, such as car seats. There's a lot of impetus to doing something really cool. We thought this stood out as a really well thought out solution, and something that was sustainable as well. Something that tries to do so many things at once and fit such a wide range of age ranges and body types and sizes is really hard to make it look like an integrated solution. And we thought they did a really good job with that.
I think you know, all of us who have friends who have kids or who have kids, there's just with every child, there's this mass of discarded toys, outgrown toys, and if we probably think about it on like a a global level or even a personal level, just the amount of like wasted stuff that is so transient, you know, so short. Some of the lifespans of some of the objects that kids have and use is so short. And so being able to integrate, you know, a long growth period into something by having the system that they developed to, you know, basically take up the space when the child is an infant, and then be able to remove that, and it grows with the child, which was a really beautiful, economic, and sustainable solution.
I thought it was just fantastic to see such a comprehensive, complete, and professional process result in such a thoughtful, refined, and tasteful product. Most of the products in this space, I don't think you would consider them to be kind of aesthetically desirable, but they were not only able to create something that was functionally innovative, they were able to package that innovation in something that felt premium and that you pay more money for. And I think that the notion of kind of paying more money for a product up front so that you buy less products down the line is something,
awesome.
A massive trend that we're seeing coming online. But you have to make that clear to the consumer that they are getting a larger value. And I think the team here really did that. And I think those were some of the biggest reasons why we gave them this year's winner.
If you can click through to the submission, I hope that you can see the flow charts that were developed for this, because they were pretty remarkable for the thought path for all of the engineering and development.
So congratulations to this year's winners. I think we want to thank you all for your submissions this year. We had a ton of great submissions, and it was a very difficult task to whittle them down to this group of notables, runners-up, and winners. And we look forward to seeing the same quality or even higher at next year's submissions. So thank you guys very much for making our second Design Awards awesome.
Thanks you.
Work.
Cheers.
Bye.